I really do. Even if they're not doing it, I don't understand why they're not doing it. Maybe that'll go down as one of the great mysteries for me in these last several months of reporting. But it needs to be done, and I'm still hopeful that maybe it will be.
Yeah. Caitlin, more than 900 American lives lost today, but for people tuning in, it's today's coronavirus briefing to hear about the outbreak. They got something else. What's going on here?
Yeah, that wasn't what you heard from the president. It really hasn't been the message that you've heard from the president as he's been talking, and that's what's so notable about those projections we saw yesterday, where the president was saying, well, people were saying if I had done nothing, 2.2 million people could have died. But Don, to be clear, we don't know of any public health experts that were suggesting that to the president. He said potentially some of his business advisors, some of his friends outside the White House were advising him doing such, but we don't know of anyone else who would advise that. And so, of course, the fact that we are now dealing with this death toll that could potentially involve 100,000 people is really stark. And so that's what's so notable yesterday. You heard so many people talking about the president's new tone, talking about how somber he sounded, but that doesn't change the fact that he did downplay it for months. And when you see these people, these governors, not issuing these stay-at-home orders, a lot of them are listening to what the president is saying. We even heard the Florida governor, Ron DeSantis, say as much today, that one thing that led him to issue this stay-at-home order, a little reluctantly, a little belatedly, I guess you would say, is he was citing the president's change in demeanor at the briefing yesterday. So some of these governors are taking their cues from the president, and that's why it's so important what it is exactly, the message that's coming out of the White House.